Good afternoon. So we proceed to our new topic for the finals. So this is the impulse and momentum. Okay, so for the impulse, so denoted by J. So by definition, impulse of a force is defined as the product of a force and the time during which it acts. So in some references or in some books, impulse is also denoted as I. So just for this example, let's say we have J, but again, in some references, they are using I to denote impulse. It's simply equal to the force times the time. So that's how we compute for the impulse. What about when it comes to the linear momentum? So the linear momentum of a body is the product of its mass and velocity. So denoted by small p, the value of the linear momentum p is equal to the mass times the velocity. So what is the relation between impulse and momentum? So basically, we have the impulse is equal to the change in momentum. So if we have time intervals, force times the change in time will be equal to the mass corresponds the mass with the corresponding change in velocity. So this is the basic relation between impulse and momentum. So let's have examples. So our examples for impulse. Alright, so let's have example number 1. So a force of 100 newtons to the right is applied to a body for 2 seconds. So what is the impulse of the force? So again, how do we compute for impulse? Impulse is simply the force times the time. So we have the impulse, the applied force is equal to 100 newtons. It acted for a period of 2 seconds. So the impulse of the force is simply equal to 200 Newton second. So this will be our answer for example number 1. So what about example number 2? So it's example number 2, a force directed to the right has a magnitude that varies. So it is a varying value. If it is a varying value, okay, we are to apply calculus. So magnitude that varies according to the equation, F is equal to 0.4 Newton per second squared t squared. It is applied to a body from t, that will be our time number 1, equal to 2 seconds, to a second time interval equal to 5 seconds. So what is the impulse of the force during the given time interval? So what are the given? So let's just rewrite the equation. F is equal to 0.4 Newton per second squared times t squared. So again, how do we compute for impulse? Impulse is equal to the force times the time. But take note that these are varying values. So therefore, we are to apply calculus. So the impulse is equal to the integral from time number 1 to time number 2 of the force d t. So we have impulse is equal to, what is our lower limit, time number 1, that is 2 seconds. Upper limit is 5 seconds. So we have the function, we have 0.4, okay, 0.4 Newton per second squared times the time squared dt. Okay, let us just integrate t squared dt. So what is the integral of that one? Using just a power formula, we'll be having 0.4. This is t squared dt is t cubed divided by 3. Okay, to be evaluated from 2 to 5. So let us evaluate, just substitute the limits to the variable t. So the impulse now equal to, we have 0.4. Upper limit is 5 cubed divided by 3. Okay, less the lower limit, we have 0.4. that is 2 seconds cubed, then divided by 3. So the value of the impulse for the given time interval is now equal to, we have 0.4 multiplied by 5. This is cube. Okay, divided by 3. Then minus, we have 0.4. Lower limit is 2. This is cube. And then divided by 3. So that should be equal to 78 over 5, or that is 15.6 Newton second. So this will be our answer for this item number 2, or example number 2. So these are our examples for impulse. So constant force. Ito naman, yung pangalawa is with time interval or a varying value. Okay, so let us proceed to example number 3. So we have a 10-kilogram block is initially moving to the right at 20 meters per second. Determine the change in momentum if finally the body is moving at 10 meters per second to the left. So the requirement is the change in momentum. How do we compute for the change in momentum? It is equal to the final momentum minus the initial momentum. So by the way, if we are to compute for momentum, momentum is mass times velocity. But we should consider the sign convention for velocity. So if the velocity or the motion of the body is to the right, for example, you are to assume that to be a positive velocity. And for example, if the body is moving to the left, we can have it as a negative v. So that will be our sign convention for the velocities. So according to the problem, our initial velocity, that is equal to 20 meters per second. It is moving to the right, then we may assume this one to be positive. And okay, our final velocity, according to the problem, it is now moving 10 meters per second to the left. We may assume this one as negative 10 meters per second. Again, so those are just sign convention for the direction. So let us compute for the change in momentum is equal to, what is our final velocity? We have negative 10 meters per second, but by the way, this is the same as the mass multiplied by the final velocity minus the mass multiplied by the initial velocity. Okay, we substitute the change in momentum. We have a mass of 10 kilograms multiplied by the final velocity is 10 meters per second to the left. So we have that as negative 10. Minus the mass, we have this as 10. The initial velocity is 20 meters per second to the right. So we'll be having the change in momentum is now equal to, this is negative 100 minus 200. So we'll be having, okay, the change in momentum is now negative 300. Okay, what is the unit of the mass? We have kilograms. And the unit of the velocity is meters per second. So this will be our answer for this example. The change in momentum is a negative 300 kilogram meter per second. But actually, we can also write this one as using the absolute value. The change in momentum can be written as 300 kilogram meter per second as the change in momentum. An absolute value of 300 kilogram meter per second. Okay, so let's have an example, additional example. Let's have item number 4. So item number 4, or example number 4, a 2 kilogram brick is moving to the right at a speed of 6 meters per second. How large a force F is needed to stop the brick in a time of 7 times 10 raised to negative 4 second. So this is one example for the application of impulse is equal to the change in momentum. So how do we again compute for the impulse? So this is the force multiplied by the time. How do we compute for the change in momentum? This is the mass multiplied by the change in velocity. So if we are computing for the force, that is equal to the mass. What is the change in velocity? It is the final velocity minus the initial velocity, then divided by the time. So again, the given, we have a mass is equal to 2 kilograms. Okay, our initial velocity is equal to the 6 meters per second. Then final velocity, the force is needed to stop the brake. So the final velocity should be equal to 0. And the given time is 7 times 10. This is raised to negative 4 seconds. Okay, so we are now to substitute. Okay, the force is equal to, by the way, when it comes to the 6 meters per second, okay, it is moving to the right, so we should assume this one to be positive 6. So we have the force needed is now equal to, we have this as the 2 kilograms. What is our final velocity? So it should be 0 minus, what is our initial velocity? We have that as, okay, positive 6. And then this is to be divided by the time, 7 times 10 raised to negative 4. So if you are to observe the units on the numerator, that is mass, we have kilograms, and the velocity is in meters per second. And the unit of the denominator is in seconds. So the final unit should be, okay, we have the kilogram meter per second squared, or basically this is in newtons. So computing for that value, we have 2 times, we have again 0 minus 6. This is divided by 7 times 10 raised to negative 4. So we have that as 120,000 divided by 7, or negative 17,142.857 newtons. So we have, okay, this will be our answer, negative 17,142.857. So what do we mean by this negative sign? Okay, so take note that the brick is moving to the right. So the force needed to stop that brake should be acting to the left. So again, we may rewrite the force as 17,142.857 newtons. And its direction is to the left. To stop the brake, that is moving to the right. So this should be our answer. Okay, for our next example, 0.25 kilogram ball is 0.25 kilogram ball in the positive x direction at 13 meters per second is hit by a bat. So let's say that is our initial velocity. We have 13 meters per second. So as you can see, it is on the positive x direction, which means moving to the right. So we should assume this one as positive. So it's hit by a bat. Its final velocity is 19 meters per second in the negative x direction. So if that is our initial velocity, our final velocity now is 19 meters per second, but it is on the negative x-axis, so we should assume this one as a negative, or basically moving to the left. So the bat acts on the ball for 0.01 seconds, so the time is equal to 0.01 second. So find the average force exerted on the ball by the bat. So again, from our very similar from the previous example, the impulse is equal to the change in momentum. So this is the force multiplied by the time is equal to mass times the final velocity minus mass times the initial velocity. Or we can compute for the force equal to, we can factor out the mass. This is the final velocity minus the initial velocity and then divided by the time. So computing for the force, all we have to do now is substitute. The mass is 0.25 multiplied by, what is our final velocity? Negative 19. And then minus, our initial velocity is positive 13. And this is to be divided by, the time is 0.01. So, okay, this is the average force exerted by the baseball bat to the ball. The force is equal to, okay, we have 0.25 multiplied by negative 19 minus 13, okay, divided by 0.01 is equal to, again, negative 800. And since this is a force, it should be in newtons. Again, so what do we mean by this negative sign? The negative sign means, since, okay, according to the problem, okay, the ball is moving, okay, on to the right, that is on the positive x-axis or x direction. So the applied force of the bat should be to the left. So we have, okay, the applied force is equal to 800 newtons to the left. Okay, this should be our final answer for this example.